Hey guys, today we're going to be taking a look at this brand new 2023 Hyundai Sonata. And holy cow, it looks so great. It's really making me question my choice for buying my Elantra. Alright, so starting off with the front of the car, you can see how wide it is. One of my favorite things with this car is the headlights. These stand out so much. Ever since the first Sonatas came out, you can easily spot these in the street. And what makes them really cool is the fact that underneath here you have your daytime running lights, and they also fade into here. There are actually LEDs on the inside of this, and they wrap up and mix with the chrome of this car to make it look like the headlights go all the way to the top of the hood. It just stands out so much, and it looks so beautiful on this car, and that's on both of the sides. All right, so moving up to the front of the car, this is your radar sensor. This is what's going to be used for your stop and go cruise control and making sure that there's a good distance between you and the car in front of you. There are also a bunch of these ultrasonic sensors, and that's what's going to help with your parking. It'll alert you when you get too close to objects. I love how functional that is when you're driving. And there's also the front camera. So this car does have a 360 camera. You're able to see all the way around the car, and that is the front camera that makes that possible. Moving over here, there is an air vent, and you can actually see through it, and it will pass air to your wheel. So that's really nice that it's actually functional. The engine in this car is a 4-cylinder, 1.6 liter turbocharged engine, so you're gonna get great fuel economy and also quite a bit of power. This is what the side of the car looks like. There's no sharp angles. It's very nice, smooth slopes that connect this car. I love how when you follow this trim line of chrome all the way through the side of the car, it wraps all the way around to complete a full circle. That is really great quality. It looks amazing on this car. While we're walking around, you'll also be able to notice another camera right here, and this camera is used for when you're turning. It actually shows a blind spot mirror view on the dashboard of your car. Right over here we have some extra ultrasonic sensors, and this is going to be used for the back of the car. Also, a huge shout out to Zeigler of Racine for hooking me up with this Hyundai today. Make sure you guys check them out. I'll talk about them later in the video. In the back we have the full Sonata writing. You can see the letters spelling it out. This is one thing that I don't necessarily like about the Sonata, just their implementation of this full LED bar. It definitely looks cool at night, but I don't really like how it wraps up and around. It doesn't really look the best to me. It kind of looks like a Honda Civic, just with the styling. I really like the way that they implemented the full light bar on the Elantra and how sharp and angled it is. And that is one of the reasons I decided the Elantra over the Sonata. But it still looks really cool, really futuristic. I just wish it didn't wrap up and around. I prefer a straighter bar. It also does come with some diffusers, which is a cool accent, as well as a dual exhaust. Your reverse lights are also found right there. It is also cool how they hid the trunk door open right here. It opens it up to a massive trunk. Whoa! I don't know if you guys can see this on camera, but that is a lot bigger than my Elantra, and I thought the Elantra had a big trunk. Oh my goodness. Also, here are all the floor mats that you'll be getting when you get the car. Let's close that. And again, that's so cool. The button's just hidden right here. When you push down, you feel the button open and it opens it. The fact that they matched that with the paint so well is awesome. Here's your gas tank, and here are the rims. So on the limited version, you are going to be getting 18-inch rims, and they look really nice. I love the way the Hyundai logo is hidden right here with this nice design around the outside. It looks so amazing. Now let's go into the inside of the car. So once we open the doors up, we go in. When I hit the engine on, since it does have electronic seats, it's moving me right now. I'm not moving the seats. It automatically puts me into position, and this is so convenient when you're getting in and out of your car. So it moved up the seat to the position that I had it. So let's turn off the car and you'll see why it helps. When I turn it off, it's gonna pull me back, spreading out my legs. It's gonna make it so much easier to get out of the car if you have the seat positioning higher up. I love that feature. Now we can finally take a look at the interior of the car. Another one of my favorite features in this car is the fact that it does have a heads-up display. Look, right there. With that heads-up display, you're able to see the direction you're going, the speed you need to go. It's so fancy. I love that feature. And it prevents you from being distracted on the road when you have to look down or look at the display for your navigation. It'll show you right there. It's so cool. Now, I will say the inside of this car isn't necessarily the most flashy. It seems pretty basic, all while still being pretty luxurious. This is the limited trim, so it is supposed to be the highest end model that they have for this car. And I've noticed that a lot with the touch points. A lot of this is pretty soft leather right here too. This is a little bit harder, and this is a mixed material where it's still a little bit hard, but it's still not really rough like plastic. So it's nice that it has that, and that's wrapping all around this car. We also do have a pretty large display, and we'll be taking a look at all the electronics soon. Right here is your climate control. Down here is where you can charge your phone via the wireless charger. You also have a couple different ports and cords for your Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. We also have a shift-by-wire system, so instead of having to grab onto a shifter, you're actually able to use buttons to control. So you can go to reverse, neutral, drive, park. And it's really nice that it's able to be so smooth when you're shifting. And right here are just your parking sensors, your drive mode, and also some other really fancy features I'll be showing off later in this video. Here's your cup holder, and here's some extra storage, as well as the passenger seat. So all this is a leather material. These two seats are heated and ventilated, so you're able to get cooler or hotter in the summer, which is really nice when you're driving. It also does have the Bose premium audio, which is going to be great when you're listening to music. Moving over here, it does have a panoramic sunroof, so you're able to let in a lot of light to make this car look brighter, even though it does have this darker interior. You can see how it's blocking the sun. It's pre-tinted, so you're not going to get completely baked when you have it, and you can also cover it using the sunshade. These are what the back seats look like. Let's go to the back of the car to see what the passenger seats look like. I also love that the door handles look like this. It's so cool. Really futuristic. It's not like your normal door handle. A very solid opening. And let's test what it sounds like when you close it. Oh, that sounds solid. Moving over to the passenger. Ooh, okay. Wow, that's a lot more room than I thought. This car is considered a mid to full size sedan, so you're actually getting a lot more leg room and a lot more room in the trunk, as we saw, than any of the other compact sedans. That's gonna be really good if you have a family or you travel a lot and haul a lot of things. You'll have extra room in this car. We also have a little cup holder right here and a little median if you have two passengers back here that might want to have a little beer here. And I also like that they have ventilation back here. Instead of just relying on the front ventilation, you're going to have heating or cooling back here for the passengers, as well as a little USB port. That way you'll be able to charge your devices if you're sitting back here as well. The sunroof really makes this car feel a lot more open. I really like that. Not only is it just one of the smaller sunroofs, it's a full panoramic, so it has two sets of glass. That adds for a lot more visibility and a lot more brightness. This car also has the quarter windows as well as a pretty nice back window, so you're able to see quite a bit more for your blind spots while you're driving. And we also do have those cool blind spot cameras. Let's go do a startup and hear what the engine sounds like. I'll put you guys by the exhaust. That was what the exhaust sounds like, and now we have a better look at all the controls that it has. There are quite a few. These are going to be with your self-driving and lane keeping assist features. These are your menu controls, going up, down, changing the speed. Your volume controls and music controls right here. Your hang up and answer and voice control features right there. Really nice. Down here, we're also going to have your illumination controls and some extra controls that you can check out and change. This is where you're able to program your seat controls. So if you have two drivers, you can have it programmed for the different drivers for your seating position. Really nice. This model also does come with paddle shifters, which is really nice, and you're able to take full advantage of this engine. Let's get this car started so I can show some more features. So you do have that full LED display right here, and you're going to be able to have a lot more customizations since it is a digital display. You can see your tire pressure settings, but watch what happens when I turn my turn signals. It shows up a camera right there in the side, and that way you're able to see cars next to you when you're turning. It has that for both left and right. Very nice. Let's do our 360 view around the car. This is what you can see from the outside. There's a couple different angles you can look at, and then they're top down right here. This is how you're able to see how well you parked and line up even better if you're at a new spot. And to shift, we just put drive or park. So this is what the display looks like in your regular mode, but once I push it into sport, it has a little bit of an animation and shows a red sporty screen. That's it for the video. Thank you for watching. Check out my other videos on the Sonata. Peace.